Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Ideally, everything's okay. I'm not entirely sure if there's anybody in the chat as of yet. But if there is, hi, and how you doing? Hello there, Crub Dog. Hello there, Redstar. Wow, okay. A few more people than I was actually expecting in chat. This is the only issue with Twitch. For some reason, unless I open a second tab, it never shows me the actual viewer count, which is always mildly fun. Not too fun, just mildly fun. What do you win? Ooh. You win an all-expenses paid evening in your own home. I mean, that's worth a lot in some places, I have to tell you that one for sure. Okay, so I was reading some of the comments on the prior videos, and somebody did inform me about the fact that you can press the Z to actually see the combat/defensive values, well, offensive/defensive values, which, you know what, really nice. The guy was a little bit critical, but you know what, I actually do like that. I'd rather have somebody be critical and give tips. So, I can't remember your name, but if you ever watch this again, thank you so very much. Okay. Hello there, Darkman. How are you doing, my friend? Now, whether that is the defensive value, I'm not entirely sure. Get in there. Hello there, Solar. How you doing, my friend? That's a pretty cool name. Quite like that. How am I sounding, by the way? Is it too loud? Does the music need to be louder? Bloody division level, Jesus Christ. Oh, that's never gonna happen. But you know what? I like your optimism. Hello there, Grey Knight. How you doing, my friend? That's fine. That's great. Good, good, good. See, the thing is, I've had this bloody cough for the last couple of days. It's like, what have I got here? I've got this bloody Lemsip dry cough sort of stuff, so I've been down in this. Oh, there we go. I only think you're meant to have like 5 mil. I think I've had 20 so far. Oh dear. I don't know. Be fine. Such a pretty tasty. It's non-drowsy, so I'm sure I'll be okay. If I die on stream, then, I don't know, I could probably have that in a grave or something. That would be pretty cool. Right. So, there's going to be a lot to do this, this session. Oh, boy. It's gonna be so much pain. There we go, try the music a little bit louder. How is the actual, how is my audio? Do I sound choppy at all? I had some issues earlier this week where people were saying that I was like sounding a little bit, buzzy or some kind of buzzy or something like that. So hopefully everything's okay. Considering, do I have to buy a new microphone or not? Well, hopefully not. That's good, and that's good then. I trust you, Lanza. I've seen you a couple times to trust you. I don't know, man. Might be one of those things of when it might be worth the investment in a new microphone every now and then. See if there's anything better out nowadays. I mean, I do use a Blue Yeti, which is honestly the best microphone I've ever had in my life, and I love it. So good. Hello, Jakku. Jakku Lost. How you do, my friend? Whisper sweet nothings. Yeah, that sounds about right for me. Good to be able to see at a glance the morale. The morale is such a big thing. Yes, now. Only a short time until we begin the stream in proper. Hello there, Soto. How are you doing, my friend? Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to XTRG's challenge. Now, I can't remember the episode number we're up to, but I've just taken a look at Twitch and we're up to episode 6. So, we are getting there. What about the, just over the 50% point here? I suppose some of you might even say 60%, but those of you who do say that are probably heretics. So here we are. The situation is, as you can imagine, rather poor. To, well, ranging from rather poor to extremely poor. We have been facing quite the onslaught from the Soviet forces here around Warsaw. Lodz is under direct threat by the enemy here. And we do have a very real possibility that the Soviets are going to be let loose upon the plains here in Poland and then into Germany. You see here, the front line isn't that far. Warsaw isn't that far from Berlin. So yes, we only have really one major, well, a couple major cities, Breslau, Posen, and Bromberg, between us and Berlin. And frankly, we need to bring about springtime in Germany once more. So we are going to do our best here to actually repulse the Red Wave. We are having some success in certain areas. I know that sounds like a lot of posturing, but at the end of the day, I'm trying to think of an example of something going well here, and there's not a huge amount of examples, granted. But at the end of the day, we are holding the line here. We are consolidating our line. We are withdrawing slowly but surely. That is to actually seek the safety of this defensive line here. And despite moments of doubt, we still keep the faith. It's good to see you all again. I hope you guys have missed me, because I've certainly missed you. Okay. Now, this is concerning. Whether we do have to try to evacuate here, or whether we can actually form a defensible line, is going to be the question. I would like to believe that we could form a defensible line. I do believe that is certainly possible. So, frankly, our issues is due to the supply, the lack of supply, actually. And in fairness, let's see here, I could actually alleviate that somewhat by assigning further construction battalions here. That would be quite nice. The situation is changing. We need to adapt with it, we need to move with it. I need to be able to consistently adapt to the Soviets and try to outmaneuver them. Yeah, they held in Kurland to the end of the war, that's very, very true. Hell of a location to hold. Can't imagine the sheer amount of brutality that was going on over here. I mean, not that was anything compared to what the civilians would face here in Germany and Poland. Just in general, it was not a good time to be a civilian. Okay. The Reds are... the Reds' strength over here in the north, of course. They do have it grouped in certain areas. We do have to try to hold here. In fairness, once I do have some administration points, I should probably establish a new defensive line along this rail line here. We did have some good news, in the form of the weather is to change in a short period of time. Sure, snow is still not great, but it's not that bad. It's not as bad as a blizzard. And frankly, sorry, it's our vehicle pool that is massively hurting us. If I was able to have more vehicles, we would definitely have a greater chance of success. Okay. I think we did actually deploy the vast majority, at least move the vast majority of our men here. I should probably move these headquarters a little bit further away from their front lines. Frankly, I don't want them to be pushed away. definitely you over here. I'll have you head to Steinstein, the actual town over here. Hopefully they should then have better access to resources. But I'll have you just a little bit closer to the front line. Make sure you're within 3 hexes to use these support weapons. Okay, now speaking of support, I don't imagine these other headquarters down here will have the actual support, sorry. But what I would need to do is look through here. Now you don't even have any support element. That doesn't fix the situation. How about if I go over here? That makes the situation poor down here too. Not good. You could, that's a terrible situation. Okay, can I have you reassign? No. Okay. That's fine. Okay. We are lacking a lot of support in this area. And frankly, the 9th army is not the most powerful. I do need to move another army into the area. So I reckon what we need to try to do then is have the 3rd Panzer Army, once we do retreat further, potentially further into East Prussia, or perhaps once the line does settle down to some degree, is we have the 2nd Army, I do believe this is the 2nd Army, the 2nd Army make its way further to the south, have supporting elements moved down here. Or even perhaps, if I was able to have the 4th Army moved out of this area, or even perhaps they were able to hold under the 2nd, we'll see. We are facing a major counteroffensive, well, a major offensive by Red Army forces over here in the north. We do seek to oppose them in force. And frankly, having some tank destroyers would have been really quite handy. Is that a police battalion? A pioneer battalion? Okay, superb. Well, that fills me with no confidence to the fact that I have artillery on the front line. I'm going to move them off the front line directly. Have them in reserve. I don't want them to be smashed. I do have... See, now there's the town here. Do I try to take the town? Probably a decent idea. That division can't move. This one could. I think what we'll do then is we'll retake the town. Unless, do I have a defensive position here? I don't. I'm actually digging one in. I've not seen the curator page, actually. That sounds pretty cool. Okay, what we're going to do then is we'll move forward with the 367th. I'll then support that with the 2nd Hermann-Grenadier Panzergrenadier Division. That should be quite good. Okay. If I press Z here, I do believe this is the defensive value. I'm not entirely sure on this one. I did have a viewer post a comment some time ago, and to be honest, I didn't know about the Z hotkey. I've never really looked through the hotkey. And in some ways, I've been playing with a massive disadvantage for some time. But you know what? That's fine. We'll use this now. And frankly, I love when people get in contact. I like the fact when people are critical. At the end of the day, if somebody isn't critical, how do you learn? You don't, do you? So honestly, I do encourage people to comment, to actually give hints, tips. And you know what? If I make a mistake, you bloody well call me out on that. I would like to know. That's how you learn. That is how you learn. Okay, so I do have only a security force here on the 7th Luftwaffe Air Base here. It's not a huge amount. Can I assign any further units, or are you full? You're full. You're full. Number 65 BF-109s wouldn't go amiss. There we go. Still have some forces that I can move, so I'll have them sit in Vienna looking pretty. Lynn's here as well. Now, these panzers are very nice. I would very much like to move them out towards the front lines, as we are doing with all our forces here. I do have you on the boat. Can I move you? Yes, we can. Are you out of movement? Okay. Over here we do have 2 headquarters. Take you off the ships. There we go. We do have the 10th SS Corps and a Mountain Corps technically over here. Interesting. You definitely need a lot of help. Right. I do still have the 24th Panzer Division. I am actually going to commit this to battle. So attached to Army Group Center. I can't reassign you here. I think... no. Okay, what we're going to do here then is I'll have the 24th Panzer Division. They are going to take up residence over here just behind the lines. I will have them on reserve here. Now these troops are just so damn good. So damn good. Okay. Do we have any fortifications? We don't have fortifications here. None here as well. I need them. Really, really do need them. But to beef up this position here, I don't really want to give you pioneers as us. I'll give the pioneers to the actual panzers. And in fairness, the actual panzers themselves, I'll move to the rear here. At least then they can act in support. Well, a reserve position quite effectively there. Plus, if they do break through here, they're not just going to straight on flank, because they do have to go through this. That's a good idea. Okay. Yeah, I mean, that's true. I just reinstalled World of Tanks after God knows how many years. And you know what? I went back into the game in my E100, my Tier 10 German Heavy, and you know what? I had my ass kicked. Things have changed. Things have definitely changed. I don't like how disorganized this is. It is going to have to hold for the time being. Okay. I'd like to amass more air power here. Right, there we go. Actually, I have you on the rail line. Okay, it looks like from here they can operate quite effectively. Okay. At least we'll benefit from some extra Luftwaffe support. It's not a huge amount extra, I'm not going to beat around the bush here, but it is going to be something. Where's your commander? Your commander's here. In fact, what we will do then is... let's see. There we go, I want to increase the amount of support here. At the end of the day, they need to run that. Can I take a look at my actual... let's see. And required to fly is 10. That's fine. Now what I will do is run some air reconnaissance. Okay, that works for me. Okay. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take the Matterstock Infantry Division. They're going to move here. The Panzers are going to move here to the rear, the 8th Panzer Division. They're going to do that and act as a reserve. I have no support to give you. Same thing with the 18th SS Panzergrenadier Division. They're going to move to the rear and act as a reserve. I do have some extra forces I could bring down here to bear. I will do that. So the idea here is that we do have the infantry to soak up the offensive power of the Ruskies. But then behind them we do have the armor. I do need to preserve the armor as much as possible, and frankly, if all else fails, they are a formidable roadblock. I am half tempted to put the security here, but if I do that, Krakow may fall. This is definitely yeah, a supremely desperate situation. What's our production like? Okay. Bending tigers indeed. We do have them in transit. Take a look at what we've actually lost. 142 Panther Gs, 33 this turn. 196 Panzer IV Js, 44 this turn. 8 Tigers, 2 this turn. Only 5 King Tigers, though we haven't lost any this turn. So many Stuckfried. So many of them. So many Jagdpanzer 38s. So many, just so many tank destroyers in general. And this is what it's becoming more and more. I mean, you take a look at these numbers lost by the Soviets, those are some impressive numbers. So the Soviets have lost, bloody hell. What, over 1,000, almost 2,000 T-34s, something in that region. And they've lost 51 IS-2s 1944, 20 1943 pattern as well. They've lost a lot of vehicles. Hell of a lot of vehicles. But the thing is, they just have the industrial capacity to churn these things out. So, let's hope for the absolute best, and shall we, ladies and gentlemen, as we boldly go forward and embrace the destruction that comes. At least we have retaken Lodz. That situation is certainly better than what it would have been prior, as we would have had the possibility of those forces being completely destroyed and wiped out. Ideally, if we do lose the city, we will be able to retreat. We'll see. I don't want to lose Lodz, though. It's a shame it wasn't fortified. I don't think it's actually heavily fortified, but ideally it is. And thank you there, Oxy, for subscribing. Right, we do hold here. This is where we need to hold. That's not good. That's actually incredibly bad. That's even worse. That is actually really bad. Considering they were on a level 3 fortified position, and they will push back. And then the forces behind them will push back. That's no good. Hello Vando, how you doing, my friend? Right, we hold. I suppose it does make it easier as to whether we actually do hold in East Prussia or not. Oh, that's pretty cool. As the city itself, bloody hell. If we take a look at the attack here, The Soviets attacked us with 136,145 men, 2,966 pieces of artillery, 1,199 pieces of armor. That's a significant attack. And in fairness, this isn't actually too bad for us. We have managed to hold here, thankfully. But the fact is, this has actually soaked up a lot of the momentum in the center here. That's good. Our losses aren't too terrible. I mean, they're not great considering we have significantly less men. Our AFV losses aren't exactly great, but they're not too terrible. I mean, you take a look at the difference here. This significantly hurts us more than it does the Red Army. The Red Army does have the advantage here. Sure, they didn't break through this turn, but they probably will break through in the future. They may continue to attack, and we may lose the city. But if we lose the city, I'd rather lose the city directly than being surrounded. We'll see. The battle continues. Well, can I take a look at... Right. I mean, these odds aren't exactly great, you know what I mean? The fortifications have been reduced. That's a rather poor situation. Yes, they have indeed. Now this is a difficult situation. If I allow myself to be actually outmaneuvered here, the south is entirely threatened. If I'm cut off from my forces in Slovakia and Hungary, that is critical. I cannot allow that. Right, we're continuing to hold here for the time. There was a decent losses. Right, we do not hold that. Yeah, the Krakow gap does look serious, and I do agree about that. It's definitely a serious situation, and one that we either need to try to take advantage of or try to make the most of. Right, they do have a lot of men, but their AFV numbers aren't that high. So the Kurland fortified zone surrendered. I dearly hope they do not take possession of that fortified position. They have indeed. They force our forces back again. Okay, I think the Kurland pocket is becoming seriously threatened. We may very seriously have to consider actually pulling back. I think removing the panzers from that area did seriously jeopardize that position, but we'll see. In the end, we may be able to... I mean, frankly, I can fold the defensive line around towards the port here. It's not too serious a situation, it's just not a very good one. Yeah, pretty much. I do have to dearly hope that the Red Army does exhaust its potential. They can attack and attack and attack, but they can only attack so many times before eventually they do have to slow down at some point. Ideally we can hold them until the weather changes. Yeah, okay. We were forced from that position here, but you take a look at this. So this attack did soak up. I mean, to take a look here, we did lose a lot of men. That is actually quite heavy losses. Thankfully, not many... Well, then again, you take a look at this. This is actually quite heavy losses. That's like, what, over a fifth? Those are some formidable losses. But you take a look here. We were attacked by 117,000 men, 2,069 pieces of artillery, 1,494 pieces of armor. That's a significant force-size attack there. So, yes, we were completely and utterly routed from the actual town itself. Not routed, but forced back. And due to overwhelming numbers. Ideally, this combat potential has been somewhat soaked up and dissipated here in the town, rather than on the true defensive line. Ideally, it gives our forces time to dig in deeper. Right, that town has fallen. Indeed. See, I can't afford divisions to be routed. Yeah, Kurland. Almost fell through there. Right, there we go. Yeah, the order will eventually be used. Trust me on that one. We are being pushed towards Krakow. The thing is, they have the luxury to actually concentrate their men. They have the luxury of having supply lines that are actually decent. Well, somewhat decent. I mean, the fact is, we're lacking vehicles. We have a huge deficit in vehicular transport like trucks. We lack trucks. Our troops aren't receiving all the supply they need. They're not receiving all the reinforcements they need. They're starting to lag behind in equipment. It's not a good situation. Okay, so things could be significantly better. That's always going to be the fact here. I'm not happy about Kurland. I think Kurland has not gone the way I would have wanted it to. Had we been able to make a strike here, that might have been better. At the end of the day, people will criticize the fact that I'm doing things like this, but we do have to attempt it. It's like, the easy thing would be just to dig in and just be that, but frankly that's not entertaining. At least not in my opinion. So we need to be daring. And we have had further forces arrive. Hanover Infantry Division. We do have men to move to the front line. That was bad. There's a lot of troops there. And frankly, for the 23rd SS Panzer Grenadiers to have been pushed back as well is rather disappointing. That's a very strong force. The NI don't even have those fortifications. Indeed. So interesting reading my book on Downfall. One of the biggest reasons why the US didn't push for Berlin or further was that they didn't want to chew up their forces for the coming invasion of Japan. Well, it makes sense. I mean, Germany was more or less defeated at that point. Why have your forces shattered? Oh, I'd imagine it would have been rough. Right. I do have a fortress brigade. It's only 4,000 men with 53 guns, but at the end of the day, they need to be pressed into service here. They won't hold, I know they won't. But frankly, at this point, we need everything we can get. If the situation continues to deteriorate here, what I can do is, if I can find my handy-dandy drawing tool. Where is it? Ah, here we go. Yes. If the situation does continue to deteriorate here in Kurland, what I could do is, for example, we somewhat hold this shape instead. We'd have to give up the port here, which is a real big shame, and trust me, I would rather not do that. But if we were actually to hold this pocket, we should have the benefit, obviously, of the fortifications, especially here in the north. We still have the port. Ideally, I could hold something like that. With the port here as well, which is the ultimate one I'd like. But we may have to consider trying to evacuate troops. Perhaps I should have been doing that from the start, perhaps. But then it should have been, well, there's always going to be lots of things I should have been or could have been doing from the start. Which is the nature. Have them ready. Right, reactivate this division. Rightio. Bring these headquarters out. Retake that position. The issue is I'm having to move, and when I move I lose my fortifications, which is pretty rough actually. Nonsense, we'll have a counterattack in Kurland, I can assure you. Right, I would like to move the 20th Panzer Division. No, I still believe that Kurland can hold. It can definitely hold for some time to come. How long that is going to be is unknown. But yeah, you take a look at this. We've already lost another 3,000 vehicles since the following turn. Well, previous turn. It's not great. Weather forecast is still snow. Oh dear. That's not good. I mean, so, the soundtrack I have is just made up of all the Get a Grizzly Games soundtracks. Don't call me Barbara. No, I still believe that we could have something here. I think if this force moves to the north here, I could have that. I mean, this is actually pretty weak on the front here. In certain areas, this is rather strong. So I think what we should do then is perhaps move the 11th SS Panzer Grenadiers over here to the north, perhaps. The Fortress Brigade we just moved in, perhaps move that out. I can move them here, for example. But I'm going to move the 11th SS Panzer Grenadiers over here. Ideally, this should strengthen this position now. I shoot anybody who pulls out, indeed. give them support. Can I fly any supplies in here? Supply. And that's a small amount. It's an absolute pittance. I mean, fuel is going to be needed, of course, as well. Right. Can I assign the transports I sent into the reserve some time ago? No. Okay. Is it possible to evacuate units from Kurland and redistribute them? Perhaps. I mean, that can be done. Don't get me wrong, it can be done. It's just one of those of I need to be extremely careful about it. Because frankly, if I start to withdraw all my troops here at once, we will face a position where we may not be able to actually get the rest of them out. We have to be very, very careful how we do this. Okay. Though, things are starting to change in some degrees. It's like, for example, if this unit does move here, I doubt they actually have much behind their front line. And they do have forces here, but these are just airfields. There's a unit here, of course. But HQs, airfields, that sort of thing. I need to find a way through them. I need to find a way to surround and cut units off. I mean, I'm quite happy that we held here, but it seems like the front is shifting to the north. But then again, you take a look at this firepower, yes, it's still great, but it's nowhere what it once was. So we do have heavy Panzerjägers available, we have Sturm Artillery, we have Pioneers. We do have some support in this army then that can be put to great use. Okay, now what I'm looking at doing here is the 11th SS Panzer Army, okay, which is assigned to Army Group Vistula. Over here. Now, I don't have the administration to actually sign an army, but I think that is what I'd like to do. Yes, the 9th Army is definitely suffering. Okay, what we will do here then is... Right. Can't even reassign you, which is not the most fun. Okay, let's inspect the situation around Krakow. Now here's the meat of the Soviet offensive. I do wonder, have they transferred troops from here down to the south? That's a lot of power. I don't have the administration. Hmm. This is pretty damn poor. I am happy that the city did hold. That is an important aspect. No fortification here, of course, but that did prove to be quite powerful on the defense. But ideally it soaks up more attacks from the enemy. Oops. Okay, if we take a look at our actual losses here then. Yes. Further 2 Tigers, 24 extra Panzer IVs, further 14 Panther Gs. Just losing so many. I mean, they have the Lend-Lease as well, which is continuously supplying them with the further tanks. So when these aren't bad, you know. Right. I think, frankly, what we have to do here is I'm going to have to move the 18th SS Panzers, Grenadiers, so the SS Panzer Grenadiers, as well as the 8th Panzer Division. We do need to move them outside of Krakow. Frankly, I can't afford to lose there. If I lose there, that is going to drive a wedge between the plains of Poland, the Carpathians, Slovakia. It's not going to be a good situation. And what do I have in front of them right now? Goddamn artillery. They will be transferred. It's really a poor situation. I am starting to... Yeah, it's definitely in a worse and worse situation. I'm going to reactivate this unit here. It is going to have to be pressed to the front. It's not great, but it has to be there. I do have the Tatra Panzer Division, thankfully. At least that is some extra oomph, you know. Right. Heavy Panzer Jaegers. Move that core further back. Okay. Now, there are certain areas where we can perform limited counter-offensives. It's one of those of, is it worth that? Potentially so. Though I may hold my tongue. I may hold off on that. Right, what we're going to do then is we need to get the infantry to the front line. These are going to be the guys who are going to give us that capability. And they're frankly cheaper to move to the front line than anything else. So I'll move them to the front, I'll move the infantry to the front. Ideally good divisions as well. The 404th is actually quite good. They can go ahead there and travel with the 275th division. Frankly, they're some of the strongest divisions that we actually have left. Volkssturm. How much do you cost? 421. Okay, let's try to reform this division. Where is the rest? Right, your elements are down there. Where's the 342nd Infantry Division? Was it the 342nd I was looking for? Actually, they Volksgrenadiers. Yeah, 342nd. You know it's good. Don't even lie. Oh wow, there they are. Okay. What I'll do then is I'll merge that division. I like to hear that. Okay. Right, so we have a further 20,000 men in the area now. Can I move one of these headquarters from the north? They're actually pretty powerful. Well, relatively. Okay, so with an extra 3 divisions on the front line, nearly 30,000 men, that is a significant investment, a significant reinforcement in that part of the line. It's, it's nowhere near enough, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, this is it, it's like, it looks like 30,000 men, but they're not all fighting men. I mean, what, maybe a third or 2/3 of the German division was actually the teeth? Or was it only a third of a division that was technically the teeth? I can't remember what the actual divisional makeup of well, of the German infantry division was. I do remember reading that. I think it was in War at Garlands by Robert Kershaw. Robert Kershaw, I think Robert Kershaw. But it might have been Absolute War. It might have even been bloody been by Glance when Titans clashed. Though I can't remember which book it was now. It basically details the organisation of a German infantry division. It gives you an idea of how much of the division itself was actually there on the front line. For example, like the actual infantry squads in the field fighting, rather than your second line, obviously supplies, medical, food, all that sort of thing. Can't remember exactly what the ratio was. It's intriguing to read about. I'm not definitely not kidding on that one. Okay, yes, this would be great down here. I could have a new corps assigned to the area, which would actually give us some real oomph down here. Okay. Let's assign you to an army group. Yes, I wonder what could be streamed on the 8th. And I wonder who will be streaming there on the 8th. Who knows? Who knows? Okay, 17th Army could handle another corps. Lovely. Right then. Now let's see. Do I have the movement to get these units to the front line? I have some that may move. There we go. Move the 8th Panzer just outside of Krakow. Now I do still have the ability to move further infantry, which I will do. That's actually quite a good division, the 28th SS Grenadier. I'll bring them in here to fill in the gap. Okay, I mean, the security group is tiny. But let's just hope they give us some actual, I suppose. Okay. Now that's an... oh, I thought it was a good division. Still not bad, I'm not gonna lie. There we go. still have the capacity to move some units via rail. Okay, we'll reform that division down here. The 72nd. There we go. Right, I'll be assigned to a core down here. And so. Oh, that's not good. I wish I could tell you guys. I really do, but I'm not allowed to tell you. I can tell you this though, it will be fantastic, and you guys will definitely love it. There we go, sign them there. Right, just a limited counter-offensive here. What I wanted to do here is poke some holes, so I can actually just establish some sort of fear within the Soviets. At least, might make them reconsider. It does raise the morale of our forces, though, which is quite nice. They did rout, actually. Okay. No, we still have some ability to fight here. Oh, you sons of bitches. I was hoping that would actually lead them to retreat from here, but that didn't actually pay off. That wasn't very good. What I was wanting to do then was actually to kick them out of the province here, out of the Hex, just to really bring the combat wave down. That's what's going to hurt me in the end, is allowing the Soviets to dictate the combat wave. If I can reduce that as much as humanly possible, we will be in good order. Okay. It's good to have something of a limited counteroffensive. It does put those units on the back foot for some time. I do need to reinforce here. You sarcastic bugger, do a Hauser. Yeah, I'm starting to build up some armor, which is quite nice. Not a huge amount, but some. Yeah, Steel Division was... What was it, really? Okay, we'll keep them around Breslau. What I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to put together a armored ore. One that should ideally be able to act as something of a mobile response. It would be quite nice to actually have something like this. I could either try to use it for the possible counteroffensive to drive them back, or to possibly drive into them, into their flanks to reduce their position. Yeah, that's true. Not far off the money at the very least. And I could have them assigned to the 4th Panzer Army, but that's all the way to the north. Have you assigned to the 11th SS Panzer Army? Right then, guys. Now is your time to choose a colour. So, if you know one, please do give me the numbers and we'll put in a colour here. Make it something nice. A little bit of interaction, a little bit of customization. So, if you have a number, please do suggest it now. Give it a couple moments and let people comment if they would like to actually try and decide the look. I mean, bear in mind, this core could be quite important. So, I'd try and get my colour in there where I have the chance. Give it a couple more moments. Come on, guys, throw me some numbers here. Let's decide the colour. Okay. Well, what I'm going to do then is to keep the stream rolling. It's for the time being I'm going to input my own colour, and then we'll change it if anybody has a suggestion. No idea what this colour actually is going to look like, so this is going to be fun. You know what, I like purple, so I'm happy with that. And they do definitely stand out. A little bit dark, but hey, be fine. Okay. I do have further infantry units to move towards the front line. It's really going to come down to reducing the combat width. If I can reduce the combat width, I need to, frankly. Like over here, they're quite weak on the ground. This is a little bit overkill for 4 divisions. But forcing them back, ideally with lower losses. Now, I can actually retake the rough terrain here, which should ideally give us a better position to attack from. Now this is a rough position. What I'll do then is actually move forces over here. Actually, keeping that division there actually does help me. At the end of the day, they either have to move that division out of the way, or it does reduce their combat potential, because they will have to... there's a hard limit of free. No matter what, there's a limit of free. And that really is a mechanic that does work to our advantage. Bloody nice. Okay, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to move the 24th Panzer Division to the town here to actually cover that. The 24th should add some real combat power here. Okay. Yeah, Hermann Division over here. HG flag, okay. Give them the pioneers too. I need to build up their strength. What have we given them here? Oh, the Hermann Goering, okay. Actually quite a good amount of 88mm guns, that's actually quite effective. But that's quite nice. Okay. Actually quite a powerful Panzer Division. Yes, definitely. You know, a game that I did enjoy in the past was Ruse. Now that was an interesting game. I think it kind of reminds me of War Game in quite a lot of ways. It really is quite similar. I don't know what it was. It's like obviously it wasn't a major breakout game, wasn't that popular. But it did have me coming back to play. It was fun. Oh, was it made by Eugen? No wonder then. How it becomes a core by the end. Nice. Yes, it would definitely explain the actual feel and why it did feel like a war game. Okay. Reserve. Keep them ready. Really? Wow. That's not good for morale. Right, what I'm going to do here. I do have further panzer divisions over here. These are going to be assigned over here to the north. Right, what I'm going to do here is actually pull back. The reason for this is I want to reduce the combat wave. Fist of Love. I'm sorry, but that sounds bloody hilarious. That's definitely tickled me. Okay. There's not a huge amount that can be done here. But we'll reduce the combat wave as we can. That's hilarious. Have them assigned down here to the south. Some actual large guns in here, that's good to see. Nice amount of 88s. Okay. This position's really vulnerable. And that's really concerning. I'm actually going to transfer panzers down this way. I honestly cannot afford a breakthrough here as well. Do I not have enough? I don't. Okay. Yeah. Nice guns. I mean, they could be moved out. That's an interesting concept. Right, this core I really do feel could actually be quite a good answer. I've always wanted to try and put together, which I've stated since I actually started doing these episodes, is I actually wanted to put together something like a core, or even an army. An army would have been fantastic. But something in reserve. We need something in reserve that is actually going to be able to move around from front to front and actually give some strength there. Now the Red Army is starting to lose steam. I know that sounds mad considering we started around this area somewhere. I mean, we definitely lost Warsaw, so we definitely started over here. And that's quite some distance from the front lines, the previous front lines. But they can only push so far. The difficulty is I need to reduce the combat width. I have managed that to a degree by giving up parts of, well, around about half of East Prussia. Though in fairness, it doesn't do that much for me. We'll see. So now then, ladies and gentlemen, now that we have played the role of damage control, let's pray for the bloody best, shall we? We certainly need it. Right then, let's take a look. Let's march already. Holding Berlin for 2 more months does not seem possible. We shall see. I am hoping that things do keep improving. I do want to hold on to Lodz. I really do. I do believe that holding on to Lodz will allow us to hold that area. As mad as that does sound, it is a very strong position. Yes, it was it was really frightening to see Lodz actually cut off. Right. And we are being pushed back here as we expected, which we frankly couldn't have stopped. But we do that, and that's very good. But having these extra men in the area does significantly strengthen our position there. I do need to push them back as to reduce the combat weight. The new mobile reaction corps may be deployed to this area, to Krakow. But this is an actual problematic area as well. Then again, you take a look at that. That Guard tank corps doesn't have that many tanks. That's interesting. There's a lot of infantry. Indeed. Yeah, they didn't have much chance of that. That's actually quite a considerable amount of tanks there on our side. They are driving us back slowly but surely, that's true. But not too deep is the important thing. I do expect to lose a hex or two. Not that hex, I didn't expect to lose that hex to be fair. So that one is actually a little bit of a surprise. So who's winning? Us, of course. Ah dear. Hold the line. Hold. Right. That's not good. Oh. Are they moving their units by rail now? Where are they going? Okay. The 103rd Rifle Corps. Interesting. Hey, can we take on... Can we count on taking Moscow? No, we're actually going to surpass Moscow. We're going to go for the new capital in Vladivostok. Man, Supreme Commander is such a good game. I mean, the second one isn't as good as the first, but it's still pretty decent, I'm not gonna lie. It's different. But Supreme Commander is just so good. 4th of July is just so good. I think one of my favorite units is from Forged Alliance. Is it the TEC? I can't remember what they called them now. The Terrans anyway, or was the... or was it the Earth Federation? I can't remember what they bloody call them now. But anyway, the Terrans. I can't remember the actual name. They have like this tier 3 defensive turret, I believe, and it's like a giant plasma gatling. It's just freaking fantastic. Retribution would last tons, so it was real fun. They're pushing us hard here. And now that is surprising. Now, yes, I do say... And I do believe that the reaction core does need to go down there to south. That is a lot of lost territory. We've been continuously pushed back there. That's a lot of armor. That's a hell of a lot of armor. When is the weather turning? Hopefully bloody soon. Bloody hell, this is a lot of new armor. Right, our position there is now becoming quite critical. definitely. I've lost a rail line as well, which does make my position significantly harder. Put your computer down, turn it, buddy. Lodz holds once more. And it's not the greatest attack, actually. Probably one of the weakest attacks against Lodz in general. But this is actually quite good. It's actually holding off some of the offensive power that the Reds have here in the centre. So we can see here 58,700 Soviets attack, 1,296 pieces of artillery, 1,269 armoured fighting vehicles. We do actually have a good showing in VR, which is very nice. 91 fighters to their 81. However, we do have 43 bombers to their 11. I'm not happy that these defensive positions aren't holding. I really did count on them holding significantly better, and they are simply not. Königsberg may have to be abandoned soon. Okay, Königsberg, Königsberg. Yes. That's an incredibly difficult situation. They're throwing a lot of power, and I honestly expected these forces to have held better here in the north. Indeed, now it's Kaliningrad. And this has been a very brutal turn. And it gets worse. Oh, really? Oh, bloody hell. Thankfully they held that. That was brave. Still 107 armored fighting vehicles. What are they doing? They've redeployed. Right, we do hold there, just in the outskirts of Königsberg. But the city is going to have to be abandoned. Potentially. They nearly cut us off there. Yeah, we are trying to run down the clock. The issue is, I believe there's a total of 20 turns. Which is bad. But the weather isn't going to be blizzards forever. It's already beginning to change. I can't believe the situation in East Prussia. That is definitely reversed dramatically. Yeah, the north is pretty bad. That's an interesting attack. I need the Soviets to make a mistake. We've lost a lot of ground this time. Yes, we lost a lot of units this time. We've lost a lot of men. We've lost a lot of bloody breathing room. Especially in the north. Do I give Königsberg up? If I do, I do lose out on those victory points. And the Soviets obviously will gain those victory points. Which does mean that a victory would actually be further away. Technically a victory. Large losses here. Damn large losses. And pull the 6 SS Panzer army from the Ardennes and move them east. I think they're already here, actually. Possibly here. Blizzard. Yes, that's the issue. They haven't taken all of this territory that they've gained. Okay. It depends, really. I need the weather to change to the point where I gain the rivers. It will go to the mud next. It won't go to the dry. It's one of those, really. I need to have my logistics. I need my trucks to cover. Natchotson. Natchotson. Is that how it's pronounced? What are you doing here? Hello, is this opportunity? Has that presented itself? I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna make as much of this as I can. Use hands up. There they go. Yeah, that's true. The hell? Okay, now this situation is pretty rough, but the thing is, I'm going to be moving into rough terrain, and then I'm going to move into mountains. So what I need to try to do is hold this. This is the issue. This is where the threat is. If the Red Army breaks us here, they will break through. So the danger is here. This is the critical point. This is the pressure cooker. The Schwerpunkt. Is that how you pronounce it? Schwerpunkt. This is where the reaction core will be moved. Bloody can't be moved soon enough. It's actually the most powerful armored corps there is. Only slightly above that of the Gross Deutschland. But they're definitely up there. Commander Decker. General Karl Decker. Has a hell of a nose. Is that all I have to give you? Lodz does continue to hold. Thankfully so. I mean, I've lost my rail line, which does make this significantly harder. The question is, do I pull back from Königsberg? I could fall back from this position to hold this one here. I still have my rail line, so at least I still have some supplies coming in. The question is, do I leave these forces here? Face their potential death. Yeah, even pull them back or they're going to be trapped. The Königsberg is worth a lot of points. It's actually the second most valuable city other than Berlin. Now this intrigues me. I'd rather have the troops over the city. Boom. Well, we'll see about that. I think we'll see about that. I really do believe that if we can fight this through the winter, fight this through the blizzards and into the actual mud, then I do think we may have a good chance of actually holding on throughout the scenario. And we will have to bloody hope for the best. I think this is the point at which it is most dangerous, as we are being pushed, and we are being pushed critically. Something has to give. Simply has to. I still want to drive them back. I still want a successful counterattack. I can buy myself some breathing room over here by... I mean, if I do abandon Königsberg, they are going to be gaining all those victory points. But then again, what... victory points be damned. Damn them. Damn them to hell! You do find you lose. We'll see. True. Some ways. But the thing is, we don't know how it's going to turn out down the line. Sure, things may look worse now, but we'll see. We'll see. Let's see, can I deploy any extra transport? Oh. I would have imagined I would have had them back. Königsberg hasn't fallen yet. I do feel like I can hold them here at this line for some time yet. Roughly. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to transfer the 24th Panzer Division. Actually move you to the rear. The good thing is, even if they do cut off Königsberg, I can get these troops out. That really is my saving grace. And in all honesty, to be fair, I should probably put a division here just to try and block this. If we are pushed back, we will fall back, but we do have the port here at Königsberg, and we also do have the port here as well. So I could get out, which is good. I do need to make a stand here. I absolutely do. If I don't make a stand here at Königsberg, and I do give it now, that is going to be... it's going to be bad. It's going to be so very bad. True. The issue is then, we don't have that much time to rest. And these troops are being shuffled to the front, are troops that haven't had that much time to rest either. So what we're doing is we are switching our troops around, we are rotating them. It's just the issue of we are being pressed so very hard, it becomes very difficult to even consider that. If you lose an inch of ground, you might actually lose the front. Due to the armor. The armor is what's killing us. Right, fall back here. That's a significant amount of power. I could push them back here. And I will do. I gained the town back. Right, I'm moving my arm around here. I do have a lot of strength here. That's 3 armor division. That's a lot. Große Deutschland Panzergrenadier Division. I do need to retake the forest. Okay, we'll pull back into the trees. I do have the town here to anchor myself, which is good. He definitely is mighty ragged. Definitely is. Okay, we'll fall back to the tree line. Now Cora's becoming overburdened. The Yoda Core. Right, we do have, what, 30 odd thousand troops here? Maybe 40 at a push. Give or take, anyway. An introduction of another core here will definitely make a difference. Right. We'll go to the 17, or do we? I'll give them to the 4th Panzer Army. Yeah, I know, that's the real issue. I will be sending troops that way. At least now with an extra 6 division, these will definitely help. I will be moving troops. Superpowers on the way. Oh, my friend, you definitely need to give one of these a try. Definitely, definitely. I mean, Darkest Hour. That's one of my favourite games too. And probably will be playing Darkest Hour after this stream. Having a hell of a a whale of a time over there. Okay. A huge amount left. I'm half tempted to instead move artillery. I do need to reinforce this area. No, actually. There's not much more I can do here. I'm going to move infantry here. Or do I? Actually, you know what? I don't have that much to lose down here. That is pretty impressive. Yeah, so one of the Pacific, sorry, I got tongue-tied there. One of the Pacific definitely is. Definitely. Okay, so the situation here is, an interesting one. It did look really bad. It did. Although I don't think it's as bad as we feared. I'd definitely say this is the area that we need to reinforce. The north is definitely the problematic area. The Kurland pocket is holding resolute for the time being. We are losing ground, but if we hold this, then that's a potential there. So yes, if you guys have any questions, please do type them in the chat down below. One of the members from Slytherin is here, and I'm sure he will endeavour to help you out as best as he can. Okay, so we are trying to hold here in the best defensive terrain that we have available. Right, we'll move the armour just back here to the town. They can operate as reserve. Do you plan to evacuate that Regal pocket? Well, the Kurland pocket is interesting. I don't plan to evacuate it unless it gets really bad. I mean, this is bad, don't get me wrong, it's absolutely horrific. You know what I mean? It is horrific. But I don't think it's so bad as of yet. And frankly, having them potentially hold here may relieve pressure elsewhere in the Reich. It would be great to have these troops, but I don't want to pull them back and just face a onslaught. Right, so we're going to continue to fly in resources here. So we're going to fly more fuel. There goes the 65 tons of fuel. Another 57 tons. Okay. As we've flown in just over 100 tons of fuel there. Now you might be thinking, why are we flying fuel in there? Surely we need supply. Yes, we do need supply. Supply is coming in. But fuel is what makes our Panzer and our armoured forces actually far more formidable. So I'd definitely argue that we could do that. I'm not going to have much chance of get fuel in there. So I think it's definitely the time to actually take advantage of that. This is the difficult point. This I don't want to lose. I really do not want to lose there. If I lose there, it does become a very, very difficult position. But at the same time, if I keep throwing reinforcements here, I am going to lose elsewhere, and I can't afford that. I'm half tempted to take advantage of the position here. I think it's worthwhile doing so. I don't know where these forces are. Run some reconnaissance, shall we? this offensive can be defeated. Yes, it definitely can. Okay, I'm actually significantly more confident than I was previously. The issue here is, of course they do have a huge amount of armor bearing down on us. Fantastic amounts of it. Thousands of armored vehicles. Thousands upon thousands of men and guns. And true. That is bad. But we can defeat this. At no Neuhauser, there won't be... there won't be any particular counterattacks as of yet. But what I'm hoping here is the fact of being able to keep my ace card as an ace card and not commit it. I don't want to commit it yet. And frankly, we still do have some extra forces that can be sent to the front line. I do want to try and reorganize some of this, so if I could, I'd like to try and reassign this core if possible. I can't, shame. I wish I had more administration points. This is the problem. This is where they're really forcing me. I have a bunch of new divisions I need to deploy here. Sure, they might not be able to march to the front line as such, but if I can actually spread some of these troops out, then that will definitely help me. We need to do that. We pretty much committed almost everything that we have in the Reich. Yeah, down to the bottom of the barrel surely now. As far as it goes for reinforcements, we do have some more to come. The 35th SS Grenadier Division, the 715th Division, Jägers, SS Panzer Jäger Battalion, Sonia Battalion 308 men, 27 vehicles, the Grenadier Division, Infantry Division, the Russian Infantry Division, Friedrich Gahn Infantry Division, Frederick Gahn. Very little. The last ton of reinforcements is the 14th, and then even then we lose the 25th Division. We lose the 11th SS Panzer Army, as well as the Fjord Grenadier Panzer Grenadier Division. The hell of a name. And that's actually quite a powerful division to lose. No reinforcements in the air? Production is pretty difficult. If the Ruskies keep pushing us in the north, we will eventually establish a line here. Ideally for defense, I want a line here. This down here is a bonus. This is superb terrain. This is terrain I can definitely hold on to quite easily without committing too many men. Now the Red Army has committed a little bit of a blunder here. They have actually, well, given us such a target as to it's one of those if I can't ignore it. Their main thrust is coming down here now for the moment. This thrust in the center, let's just go with a colour that's a little bit easier to see. The thrust here in the center is definitely pushing down. And even so, it can be defeated. That's a crap arrow. Let's try a big gun. Good thing I didn't become an artist. But yes, this is obviously where the main push is coming from. Arguably. I mean, obviously this is a large front, this is where a lot of combat is going to be happening. But I'd say the actual coordinated and really true vicious offensive is coming from the north here. They are pushing on Kurland. Now, Kurland is obviously becoming far more distant from the Reich than previously. It was nice when we did have a Mel, but I did give a Mel up perhaps too easily. But again, I'd rather have not lost those troops. We did bring them here to reinforce our position. It's a shame that we weren't able to hold here. But due to the actual... Look at the Soviets more than anything, they did push us back. Yes, I'd argue they are pushing us here as well. I do agree with that. The thing is, though, I want to push them. I want them to push me into the Carpathians. If they push me to the Carpathians, that's good for me. I do have my forces here that I can commit. Honestly, if I didn't have the armoured here, I'd be significantly more worried. It's only, what, near 600 armoured fighter vehicles, so not a huge amount. But it is something. It definitely is something. I think we'll use the administration points that we do have to try and reorganize this line as best as we can. look through these other headquarters, try to find headquarters with support that can be sent elsewhere. But you know what, guys? We have reached that time. So thank you. Thank you so very much for watching. I hope you guys have enjoyed this. And if you have enjoyed this, please do comment down below. And demand more. It's been great. Thank you so very much for watching. You can find my YouTube channel quite easily. It is XTRG. And I was going to post a link there, but I've still yet to figure out what my Twitch password is. So thank you so very much for watching. I hope you guys have enjoyed this. Thank you to our gracious host, Sliver and Matrix, for making this possible. And until next time, goodbye for now. Have a great day or evening, wherever you are, whatever you're doing. Goodbye.